Hey, welcome to a Cross Training Women Facebook Live and happy Tuesday. My name is Allie. I'm a Christian health and fitness coach and the founder of Cross Training Women, where I help women transform their body and health biblically so that they can live fully independently and carry out their God-given purpose. And today I am answering one of the most common questions that I get, which is, how do I cook without any oil? So I have been oil-free. I've been cooking without oil for the last 5 years. For anyone who's been following me, you know that oil is the most calorically dense food on the planet at 4,000 calories per pound. And so by eliminating oil, by cooking without it, getting products without oil in it, you're not only saving hundreds of calories, but you're also going to be improving your health as well. So today I'm going to be showing you some different methods of how to cook without any oil. I'm going to be making a recipe. I'm going to start by sauteing here. It's super easy to saute without any oil. All you need to do is just replace the oil with some water, or you could use something like vegetable broth. But if you use vegetable broth, make sure that you buy vegetable broth that doesn't have any oil in the ingredients. So check the ingredients, make sure it's oil-free. So I'm just gonna heat this up. So another thing about sauteing, at least without any oil, is having some good cookware. So I have a green pan. This is a nonstick ceramic pan, and you want to make sure that your pans are toxic free. So this one specifically calls out that there is no toxins, there's no PFOAs or PFAS, which is a man-made chemical that sometimes they use and coat on a nonstick pan to make the food not stick and things like that. So you want to make sure that you've got good, healthy cookware. No cookware that's high in lead or cadmium. There's a few other brands out there that are really great. You could use things like stainless steel, although I feel like that is a little bit more prone to stick. So you definitely have to pay a little bit more close attention to it, but you can use stainless steel cookware. You can use an iron cast skillet if you want. There's a great brand called ScanPan that I was really interested in getting, but that you can really go oil-free. Apparently you can cook like dry with, so if you had like hash browns or pancakes or something like that, you wouldn't have to put anything under it. You can just flip it. So I was very interested in that. I did not get that. At this point, I just have my one green pan. So I use this when I saute. So it's getting a little hot. So I'm just gonna add just a little bit of water in here. And I already chopped up some onion and garlic, so I'm just going to toss this in there. So I'm going to turn down the temperature just a little bit to medium high. But the thing about sauteing without any oil is I like to keep like a little cup next to me while I cook, because the water will evaporate as you cook. And so what you do is you just kind of stir it around. And then as the water evaporates, you just add a little bit more. So it was really hot, so it evaporated pretty quickly this time, but you can allow it to sit. You want to pay a little bit of close attention though to it. You don't want to just like walk away because it can, evaporate pretty quickly. You just want to add a little bit of water at a time. You don't want to douse it in water because then it's just going to, make it kind of soggy. So you just want to add a little bit of water. So I'm just going to kind of stir this around, and I'll let that kind of saute for a few minutes until my onions are translucent. And I'm going to talk about some other ways to cook oil-free. So if you are cooking something in the oven, you're roasting something, then you're going to want to have something like parchment paper, or even getting like a silicone mat or Silpat. And all you do is you just put this on a baking tray. You just rip off a sheet of parchment paper, put it on. You chop up your veggies, and you just stick it right on top. You don't have to put any oil or anything on it. And once you roast it, it just slides right off. It does not stick. You can do potatoes, you can do vegetables, you can do really anything on there without it sticking. So I got this from Amazon. These are really cheap. So if you're all like environment friendly and you don't want to throw away stuff, you can get a Silpat or a silicone baking mat. I use parchment paper because it's even easier. You just toss it. But I will say, you want to be mindful of the temperature that you can cook it at. So this one is rated for 420 degrees. So I don't cook anything over 420 degrees when I use parchment paper. If a recipe called for a higher temperature, I would use my silicone mat for that. So got my onions cooking. I'm going to add a little bit more water again. Smelling really good. So yes, I'm making my lunch while doing this live with you guys. Okay, so another thing is if you are doing something like baking and you've got some muffins or you've got some sort of casserole or banana bread, I think I said muffins, cupcakes, anything like that, then you're gonna wanna buy some silicone bakeware. So I bought these recently to do like banana bread or lentil loaves or anything like that. I've used my muffin pan the most. I like making muffins. I haven't really made any in a while, but again, it's super nice because you don't have to grease it. You don't have to put any oil on it. All you do is you just put the batter in there, put it in the oven, bake it. And when you pull it off, especially when it cools off a little bit, it literally, you just pops right out. So if you like to do some baking, then I definitely recommend getting some silicone bakeware. Again, you can get this on Amazon for really cheap. Okay, so while this is cooking, I should have done this before. I'm gonna chop up some cherry or grape tomatoes and I'm gonna put them in here. So you guys are getting a recipe out of this as well. I'm making, there was a recipe that I followed, like roasted tomato, I don't know what it is, but anyways, it's with balsamic vinegar. I am adding a little bit of some extra veggies. I'm gonna add some mushrooms and I'm going to put it on top of some quinoa / brown rice. So I made a batch of that yesterday. So I'm just gonna microwave that and put this on top. So I'm gonna throw this in there along with my mushrooms. I've got some spinach that I'm gonna throw on. But this is like an easy 5-minute go-to recipe. So I'm gonna chop up some mushrooms. And mushrooms, they actually release water when they cook. So that will make it a little bit moist as well. Sorry if you hate that word. Probably throw in maybe one more. I've also got some garbanzo beans I'm gonna throw on top as well. All right, so then I'm gonna let that saute for a minute. Okay, so then the last thing that I wanted to talk about was my new favorite appliance, which is my air fryer. I just got this for Christmas. This is the Elcom air fryer. Yes, it is pretty big, not gonna lie, but I wanted to get a big air fryer because I knew I was gonna use it a lot. I've made so many potato fries in there so far, and it's super yummy. But the other thing that I did the other day for a healthy food swap was I made some corn tortilla chips. So these are oil-free. Check out that. That was a bad example. Very crunchy. So all I did was I took some corn tortillas that I bought from Whole Foods, and I really like this brand especially because the only ingredient in here, or only couple ingredients, is organic stone ground corn, water, and lime. So there's no preservatives in here whatsoever. There's no oil. So all I did was I let this to thaw. It was found in the freezer section. Let it to thaw, and then I took my pizza cutter and I rolled them into little triangles. And all I did was I put a single layer on my air fryer at the bottom of the air fryer. I just put a single layer of the chips. I cooked it at 370 and cooked it for 6 minutes. That's what I found online to do, and it turned out perfectly. So if you like crunchy foods and you want to go oil-free, I highly recommend getting an air fryer because you can make things pretty crispy. I haven't done a whole lot in there besides potatoes. I'm going to try tofu at some point. I haven't really done a lot of vegetables in there, but you can air fry vegetables and make them crispy. So there's all sorts of things you can do with an air fryer. And they're not that expensive. You can get them for a decent price. All right, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more water. I'm gonna let my spinach wilt here. And while I do that, I'm going to actually microwave my grains. So this is my quinoa / brown rice mix. I'm just gonna pour a bunch in here. I could throw this in the pan, but it's just gonna stick a little bit more. I mean, it cleans off super easy, so it's not a problem, but it's just easier this way. So I'm gonna microwave this. Probably added just a little bit too much water there. It's a little bit soggy, but that's okay with me. So it's pretty much cooked now. Like I said, I added a little bit too much water there at the end. But all I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some balsamic vinegar and some dried basil to the top. And that's going to be my yummy lunch for today. Did you see that? I totally just spilled a bunch. Whoops. Okay, I love this meal, not gonna lie. I've had it several times because, like I said, it's super quick and easy to make, which is what I'm all about. I'm all about the fast and easy recipes. So I'm just gonna add some balsamic vinegar on top. I don't measure anything. I just pour it on. And I'm just gonna dump some basil. And we're good to go. So this is my yummy lunch for today, oil-free. I hope that this video tutorial kind of helps you learn how to cook oil-free. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'd be happy to answer them. But hope you have a great rest of your day and I will talk to you later. Bye.